Yes! Alrighty! What's up, everybody? It is I, once again, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here for video number 2. Video number 2 on your Wednesday evening, April the 29th, 2026. Thank you all for watching this particular video, video number 2, once again, right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling Channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description marks below. Do it now, and subscribe to my other channels as well. Show your love and support. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and then in the future, Conan. Don't leave stupid comments. Go do it somewhere else, because you're not going to do it here, because if you do it here, you will get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely with a baseball bat, and then Ozzy and Satan will come out, laugh at you, and then eat your rotting soul! So don't do it. Do it somewhere else. And if you can't understand that, you got problems. That's that. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next video. Because if you miss anything, oh boy, you are dumb fucked up. And you're SOL. We all know what that means by now. And if you don't know what it means, oh boy, look it up. And that's that. So, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell, and all that other good stuff. And if you're brand new here, you've never seen my channel before in your life, or you have, and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe now. We are on the, just about on the road to 1,200 subscribers. About 3/4 of the way there. So, we're gonna hopefully get there by Memorial Day weekend. We'll see. About a month away from now. So, we'll see. But I think we'll get close or just about hit it by Memorial Day weekend. So subscribe now, and give my other channels your love and support as well. And we move on with that. And as we say in the business, when you do subscribe, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab your tasty cold one, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. And if you like it, great. You know, well, too bad. Go watch somebody else. But you'll stay here because you love me, and I don't love you. You can kiss my boozy red ass, Mahoney. Most of you just stayed because you have an obsession with me. You need help. Grow up, kids. And that's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a great Wednesday. Kind of cloudy here today. There was a little sun, but most of the day was overcast. We're going to get some heavy rain tonight. Going into a little bit of overnight, but Thursday's going to be another overcast, chilly day, and then the weekend's going to come. Gonna be all right on the weekend, not that bad, but by Tuesday we're back up to near 70, and then by next weekend, kind of go down a little bit, not too much, but by the time we hit Memorial Day weekend, we're going to be pretty much seasonable to below average, which sucks. This spring has sucked so bad right now. I think we can't wait for the summer to come, you know. Get those 80, 90, maybe 100-degree days without the humidity. And we're sweating like pigs. But we can at least go to the beach and cool off. Go see those ladies with their dumb bikinis and their titties popping out. Ugh. Not so much here in the Northeast sometimes, but, you know. You go down to Florida, you go down to California, you get that pretty much every day. Well, certain parts you get that every day because it's warm. But, you know, in the winter in northern central Florida, you can't go to the beach really. Because it's like 40, 50 degrees sometimes, 60 degrees. But if you're in Miami, you can go to the beach, it's still around 75 degrees. Even in California. Northern California, maybe not so much in the winter time, but Southern California, good stuff. And that's that. But yeah, summer's coming, and bring on the heat. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, we got AEW Dynamite coming your way at the top of the hour on that great station of TBS. Got some good shit tonight. we're going to start the show off with a TNT title match, which I'm going to get to because this review is from last week. So we're going to get into that and how Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, MJF, got a TNT title shot against the TNT champion Kevin Knight, and that's going to open this week's show. That's pretty damn good. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with our World Heavyweight Champion. Hi guys, it's me, Darby Allin. I'm back from Seattle. I just want you to know I'm gonna do everything I can to beat Brody King, my good buddy. He's gonna kick my ass, but somehow, in some way, I'm gonna retain my title because I love you guys and I love violence. I live in a car in Seattle. I weigh 150 pounds. I climb Mount Everest. I'm a fucking emo. Guys. Yeah, so Darby is going to defend against Brody King. That's, I mean, how many matches they've had? And basically, Brody has always murdered his good buddy, Gabby. We got that. We're going to find out what the hell's going on with Will Oceanspray after what happened to him on Collision with him and John Moxley, the Continental Breakfast of Champions champion. And they kidnapped him. They take him to a warehouse, which I'll get to on Collision. Know what's happening there. I think they're gonna fight for the Continental Breakfast title at Double or Nothing, which is pretty much coming up in about a month from now. So, we're on that road to New York City, my neck of the woods, in Queens. Well, I don't live in Queens, but, you know. But in my neck of the woods, it's in New York City, Memorial Day weekend. You gotta love that. So, we're on the road to Double or Nothing, coming up pretty damn soon. So, lots of good stuff coming your way tonight on your 2+ hour cure for insomnia, and that's AEW, as Jimmy Jam Walker would say, Dynamite! So that's pretty much it. Alright, we move on with that. This is my... Oh, it's over there. It's like, where the hell's my controller? Anyway, move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I hope you had a great Wednesday. And if not, fuck you. But after almost 8 minutes of spiel, which you clipped, and I don't give a fuck, because you got nothing else better to do on a Wednesday night. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time on video number 2. Check out my first video of the night, of the day, I should say, or the day, night, whenever you're watching this, which is my NXT video about them. The pay-per-view is going to be on the CW11, starting with the Great American Bash this summer. You gotta love that. I am ready. No more $49.99 on a Sunday, Saturday, or Sunday night. You ain't getting that shit. You get that for free now. I don't know who made that idea. It was Nick Khan. You actually did something right for your change, you bum. Now bring back Kyrie and we got something, okay? But we digress. We want Kyrie! Right now she's locked away in my bedroom. I'm not gonna let her out until you want her to come out. So, you want her to come out of my bedroom and you gotta cha-ching. But I digress. Anyway, on your Wednesday night, on video number 2, right here on the channel. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. My name is Peter Joseph. I am a content creator talking on the wonderful world of professional wrestling. Whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And if you like it, great. You know, fuck you, man. And that's that. But right now, it is time for your really fucking late and really fucking out of date AEW Dynamite and Collision from last week review. For last week, April the 22nd, 2026, and for Collision, Playoff Palooza. That's April the 25th, 2026. So we're going to start with Dynamite really quickly. And from April the 22nd, we are emanating from the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon. And our commentary team, a little bit of a change as always. You know, not the usual with Excalibur, Taz, and Tony Baloney, but we do have the man behind the mask, Excalibur, my good buddy and yours, Tony Baloney Schiavone, or for people that love Jericho, Tony Schiavone, and a man from England who's better than you, other Brits, and you know it, and that's my good buddy, Nigel McGuinness, me love. Alright, so we're coming off the week before that, where Darby Allin won the world title from, well, pretty much squashed MJF in about a minute and a half. So, like I said, we're about a month away from Double or Nothing. Darby is going to defend the belt against Tommaso Ciampa, the Psycho Killer. So we'll see what happens with that. But we start off with a recap of how Darby won the title last week. And then we get interrupted by a sore loser himself, Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker. He's pissed because he basically got, well, he says he got screwed last week in Seattle. I don't see how he got screwed, but okay. He doesn't like the paper champion Darby, demands respect. He said, I had 3 days, I was 3 days removed from a war, which he won, with Kenny by God Omega at Dynasty, and then Darby hit him in the balls to start the match. Well, Aubrey Edwards wasn't looking, you dumb fuck. Anyway, Darby can't beat him at the playing field is level and even. And then this guy comes out, Kevin Knight. Why? Don't know. The TNT champion says it's the same fucking shit every fucking week, MJF, I'm lucky, he's lucky he didn't say anything like Roman would say. It's like missionary position every single night! Yeah, we don't do missionary position every single night. We switch it up. What we doing tonight, brain? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to make each other come. Narf! Okay. I'm sorry. That was bad. I'm sorry. Anyway, so Kevin says it's the same MJF whining, complaining, bitching, and complaining, bitching, and complaining. He says, I had you pinned a few weeks ago, so if anyone was screwed around here, it was me. Well, yeah, you're banging, isn't he going out with, Marishade, Jakar Jackson, if you're nasty? You're getting screwed. Well, it's not a bad thing. But anyway. So, Max mocks what Knight just said. Well, I was thinking, it's socially acceptable to be socially acceptable. I don't know what that means. Well, in his terms, be friends with Speedball Mike Bailey. And he's like, I can't believe you're a star, but that TNT title suits you well. A title for someone with a ceiling. And then Kevin's like, what do you mean by that? Smacked him right in the face. Damn. And it says, some of the best in the world have held this title. I'm surprised you didn't say Cody. I don't think he did say Cody. I think he said Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. That's a good guy to hold the title. Yeah, I think Dustin Rhodes, did he? Dustin, I think, held that title for like, meaning not that long. But a guy that did hold that title, and that's the big man up there. Brody Lee. Yeah! We missed that guy. He's hanging out with Bray Wyatt right now. He's chilling. So he mentions all the people that held that title. So it's no wonder, Max, that you never held this belt. So how about we fight right here, right now, for this here title? So Max like, you know what? You're on. Get me a referee. I think Bryce Remsburg came out. I don't remember who came out. The referee came out. So we're about to start the match. The referee holds up the title. All we have to do is ring the bell. But then MJ was like, Nah. We're gonna do it next week. Pussy. You pussy! Alright, so that's why we're getting this match tonight, and it's gonna start the show. Hopefully. Knowing Max, we're like, I don't want to do it right now. I'm not ready. What, were you in the back banging Alicia Atute? I don't know. She should be, Alicia Atute needs, should dump that guy. I'm just saying. She deserves better than a guy that has a tiny little cock. Hey, but it works. If it works for her, who am I to say, she should dump the guy? I'm just saying mine is bigger. But I'm just, Hey, if it works for Kyrie and Asuka and Io, then I got nothing, and the missus, I got nothing to say about that. I don't need an older woman. I'm just saying. But anyway, moving on. Alright, so I gave that first segment 3 out of 5 stars. And we're off and running on Dynamite. Let me move on. Alright, then the Demand and Chris Jericho, they meet in the back, I believe with Renee Paquette. Ricochet mocks the idea of them having a 6-man tag team match against Jericho and 2 other guys. So Jericho starts laughing. So he showcases his new shirt, which is now on sale at AEWshop.com. And has a statement about regularly getting beaten up by the Demand. Okay, that's a good shirt to get over, I guess. Anyway. And then Jericho's like, I'm going to find 2 guys who don't like you. Well, there's a lot of people that don't like Ricochet. A lot. So find out what happens with that later. 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get to our, finally we get to a match. After a whole bunch of spiel. Little less talk and a lot more action on AEW, like my ex would say. Anyway, we get to, speaking of big men, Brody King, he takes on Gollum from Lord of the Rings, Precious. And that's Leo Rush. Crazy fuck he is. Here's an extra in Ghostbusters 1 as Gozer the Gazalian's dog. You ever notice that? If they rebooted Ghostbusters again, he could play the dog perfectly because he basically runs like the dog. I thought Gozer was a man. Gozer could be whatever he wants to be. Are you a god? No? Then die! Ray? When someone asks you if you're God, you say yes! I couldn't help it. But fuck you, Ray! Fuck Ray and Ghostbusters. Fuck him! Mr. Stay Puft. Yeah, they fight Mr. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and then instead of facing the Traveler has come, and there's a fucking Marshmallow Man. Really, dude? Hey, it could be worse. I mean, a lot worse. It could have been like that Roseanne Barr from like 1991 or some shit. I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyway. So Brody takes on Leo Rush. 9.5 minutes almost. Back and forth they went. Hey, Leo got some offense in, but in the end, they go to the outside. Leo does this weird, crawling, Gozer, dog-like crap around the ring. Hits a suicide dive, then a big flippy dippity-doo to the floor. They go back in, and Leo hits a frog splash, not Eddie Guerrero-like. But he gets a 1 count out of that. You know why he got a 1 count? Because he's crazy. See, if he didn't do that stupid gimmick, he would have got 2, at least 3 maybe. Dumbendale. Okay, Eddie, calm down. Anyway. So, 1 count. Brody comes back with a swinging Abyss Black Hole Slam. Then the Gonzo Bomb. 1, 2, 3. Good night, Leo Rush. And I gave the match 3 out of 5 stars. Actually, decent. That's that. And then after the match, Brody implies he wants the winner of the world title match between the Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa and Darby. We get that. Speaking of Ciampa, he says he's a father, a husband, and a son. He's a son of a plumber. No. He says he's going to prove the glass ceilings can be shattered. Nobody has been more prepared than he has. Darby says he wants this, but Ciampa says, I need it. Good promo. It was actually good. Not to say Ciampa can't cut promos, but this was good. So I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we hear from, hey kids, it's Edge Threshold. Adam Copeland wants another tag team title shot against the tag team champions, FTR, Fuck the Revival, Daxie Axe Harwood, and Cash. He's got a Brock Wheeler, and they can make it a New York street fight. But there's a catch with this, there's a caveat. If FTR wins, Edge and Christian retire as a team. Ooh. So if they lose, they're done as a tag team. Right? I guess they can still kind of compete as singles. Does that work too? I don't know. But, so, we got a street fight. And on top of that, which I'll get to in Collision, FTR's like, I think it was FTR said, okay, we're going to up the stakes even more. We're going to make this a street fight and an I Quit match. So an I Quit street fight. Wow. It's going to be brutal in New York City for that match. Brutal. I think we're going to get new tag team champions, hopefully. Not that Edge and Chris are going to hold the belts for long, but we'll see. But I don't think Edge and Chris can retire in New York. I think they're going to retire in Toronto for Wrestle Dynasty. Not Wrestle Dynasty. What is that? Blah, I can't think of it. The October pay-per-view, basically. We have Dynasty and, why can't I think of the goddamn pay-per-view? No, I was thinking WrestlePalooza, that's not it. That's definitely not it. I can't think of it. Fuck me in the ass. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, now I gotta look this up. Now I have to get, because I have a senior moment every once in a while, and the Mets are losing, by the way. Figures. D. Peterson, you fucking suck, dude. Get him out. Senga's hurt, thank the Lord. Peterson should just stay in a fucking bullpen. I know it's gonna be something with a W in it. Oh, Wrestle Dream. I don't even have to look it up. I should not came to my head. Doink. So yeah, I think Edge and Christian probably lose those titles at Wrestle Dream, or they lose it maybe by All In or All Out, and then maybe we have Edge and Christian one more time in Toronto for Wrestle Dream in October. I think that's how it's gonna happen. We'll see. We move on. All right, we got that. So an I Quit street fight. At Double or Nothing. We move on. All right, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Back to the ring we go with the ladies and 2 hot Japanese chicks. We got Hikaru Shida. Holy Shida. Well, and Chris Cakelander at ringside. Well, Shida takes on my 4th amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina Shirakawa. Ugh, my dick couldn't take this match. It exploded and all over the floor. Well, it's a good match, though. Back and forth they went. We got a top rope sling blade, gives Mina near falls. We're getting to the end of the match. She puts on the figure 4 leg lock. That gets broken up, and then Mina grabs a kendo stick. I don't know where she got that from. I think she grabbed Sheeta's kendo stick, and Caitlin's like, no. And then Shida with a knee strike. Then hits the Falcon Arrow. She did the deed. 1, 2, 3 in under 12 minutes. Sadly, Shida beats my girl, Mina Shirakawa. Damn. And that's pretty much it. good match though. 3 out of 5 stars, and that's that. So, Mina is now actually hanging out with Cameron. They're gonna team up, go for the tag titles, maybe. And then you got Shida and Cake Lander, the strangest of tag teams, possibly going after Divine Chaos. That's Megan Bayne and Lena Cross. I mean, we'll see. Interesting. Now we got teams going after the tag team titles for once. Go. Let's do it. Right, Paul Stanley? Let's do it. Okay. Alright, then we get a video for the Intercontinental title match that will happen at Double or Nothing. We got the Intercontinental Champion, Kazuchika Okada, as he takes on Kazuke Takeshita. That's going to be epic. I can't wait for that match. That's probably going to be the match of the night. I mean, we'll see. We got that. Alright, then we're going to look at the Death Riders. Speaking of the Death Riders. Helping the dogs, the War Dogs, Susuri for the love of God, against the Rascals and the Young Bucks. Nicholas and Matthew Jackson, who celebrated their 6-year anniversary of episode 200 of BTE, by the way, this past Monday. Hopefully you all saw that. Or if you haven't seen BTE 200, go watch it. And then go watch the video of them watching the video. Alright, so we got an 8-man tag team match on Collision, which the War Dogs won that. Figures. Cheating. But we move on with that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get to our next match. Will Ocean Spray reach for the sky? Whoa! Bam! He takes on, well, a old buddy of his from the United Empire. Now he's in the Don Callis family, Mark Davis. Along with Penis Head, Don Callis on commentary. This match is wild. I mean, it was brutal and wild for 15.5 minutes. There's a point in the match where Ospreay's neck just got destroyed again. Oy. I think it was near the end of the match. Yeah, it's near the end of the match. Davis hits a pair of bell-to-back suplexes, and in Insecurity, Ospreay hits a quick hidden blade, but he can't make the cover. He had to get a delayed 2 count. And then Davis pulls him in and hits a pile driver! And then goes to the cover. Ospreay got his foot on the rope. So Davis like, alright, I'm gonna kill this guy. I mean, he almost literally killed Ocean Spray. Pile driver on the apron. Ow! And then Ocean Spray just like crumbles to the floor. Freaking Excalibur, Tony Baloney, and Nigel were like, oh my god, he's dead, And then the referee, I think it was Paul Turner, and then Doc Samson once again have to check on Ospreay. He's like, my neck, And then Doc Samson's like, he done. He is done. I was like, holy shit. Mark Davis beats Ospreay? Wow. I mean, they could have went with the, Ospreay's okay, he's going to beat the 20 count, and then probably Davis hits some type of finishing move. But they just went with, you know what? Referee stoppage, good night. But good match, 3.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. And then after the match, Mark Davis sees another pile driver, probably to cripple him for life. But then the Death Riders come in, cut him off. They don't get physical, they just run him off. And then basically they carry a pretty much unconscious Will Ocean Spray with them, which, like I said, leads to them basically taking them to Moxley in a warehouse for some talking, and then Marina Shafir's like, does some chiropractic work. Shit. Then a little rub down. Oh. Ocean Spray like that, but then Alex Windsor! I was like, hey, wait a minute. That's my man. You ain't touching my man. She gives great helmet. No. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so we got that. Speaking of Alex Windsor, her and Persephone want the Triangle of Madness on Collision. That's Sky Blue and my girl Julia Hart, which they do get. And then I think the Sisters of Sin won that match after Julia Hart misted Persephone right in the face. That black mist. What was I called? The black goo. The goo! It is what it is. Alright, anyway, move on. If you do hear anything in the background, I got some construction people moving some stuff into my got a new neighbor on the block, so they're moving it. They just moved in. Some I think it's Japanese or Chinese people moved into an old neighbor of mine. So they moved, I think, to Florida now. The house was for sale, and then I think Japanese or Chinese people moved in. I haven't met them yet. I mean, I've seen them, but I haven't said hello. But, you know. You don't say hello to me, I'm not going to say hello to you. Alright. Zang. I did talk to my neighbor across the street today. He puts up all his Halloween stuff. Great house, by the way. When he does it for Halloween and Christmas, best on the block. I mean, I wish I had all that stuff, but I don't. My house is small, so I'm lucky to even put up a skeleton. But skeleton! No. Alright, so we get that. Alright, let me finish this off. Alright, so we got that. That's for Collision. Like I said, I think the Sisters of Sin won that match after Persephone got misted. We'll move on for that. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Moving on. Alright, then we had the return of a former Ring of Honor champion, a former TNT champion, and former AEW World Champion, and that's Samoa Joe. I think after his, what do they have, a shoulder injury? Anyway, but he's back, and he takes on, well, jobber extraordinaire Cody Chun. 2 H's in that. Chun. And he beats him in under 3 minutes. Did I say under 3 minutes? Yes, I did. And basically beats the fuck out of him. Hits the muscle buster. Good night. So, be their match. And that's pretty much it. Got a cold. That's pretty much it. Alright, after the match, they sent for the man. You, Hook. Get in here, bring your Doritos. Hook, ladies and gentlemen. Hook comes out, little fist bump to Joe. So, the Ops, kind of back. They don't have Shibata, who I don't know where he is. I think he's back in Japan. And now they have a new member, and that's Anthony Bowens? Huh? What? Because they Hook tried to recruit him, and Bowens like, well, I gotta talk now. I don't know. Let me see what the boss says, even though Hook thought he was the boss. Well, he's not. So, we see on a Collision, Bowens comes up to Hook, say, hey, you got room for one more? You got nothing to do. So why not? Okay, come on in. Joe's like, alright, come on in. Oh, there goes the Acclaimed sort of reunion that it looked like they're going to reunite again. That went nowhere. What's Max Caster going to do? Nothing. Probably just do some work on the indie circuit. I mean, he came from Creative Pro. Why don't you just go back there? Or Wrestle Pro? Or just leave. I don't know. Alright, so we got that. Alright, then we got a video on Gabby. Set to a song about how I gotta be me. That sounds familiar. What's that? I was thinking it's, I Don't Want to Be Me by the great band that you know and love, Typo Negative. By the way, I know somebody who covered that song. She sang the hell out of that song. Woo! Banshee that she is. And she sings in 6,000 other bands. But I love her. She would come around my area, not so much way down in Brooklyn area where I can't get to and back. Like Greenpoint. I would go, but, I mean, I can get there. But the problem is, getting back like 10, 11, 12, almost 11, 12 o'clock at night from Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Unless you're driving me home, or at least to somewhere safe, you know, in Midtown Brooklyn, or, you know, even like around, well, I would say Canarsie, but drop me off at a safe freaking bus stop or safe train station that I know, then I'll just go home. I was like, I'm okay. Don't have to drive me all the way home, because you gotta drive all the way back to, like, Long Island or some shit. Oh, it's off the highway, Pete. It's all fine. Okay. Move on. Alright, so get the song about I Gotta Be Me, showing off some of his odd behavior. Yeah, like setting himself on fire and all that shit. And then wins the world title. So I get that. But before Darby's match and promo, before the end of the show, Renee catches up with Chris Jericho. He's found some partners to take on the Demand, and that is the Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. They hurt people. The Hurt Syndicate, along with MVP, they all come out of their locker room, dressing room, lounge, whatever it is. And then MVP's like, just business. And then proceed to fucking lose. Because Jericho got pinned again for the third time to Ricochet. I mean, seriously? He's 0-3? How? I know if he's putting Ricochet over, that's one thing, but if he's not, like, why are you putting this dork over? This bald fuck over? Why? Nothing to write home about. I mean, yeah, former national champion. How long did that last? Not that long. That too. Excuse me. Moving on. Yeah, we just move on. I'm just moving on from that. Alright. That's that. Alright, then Darby. He's here for a chat. Lays the title in the middle of the ring. Looks at it. Could be his last night as champ. Talks about how his first match was right here in Portland, Oregon. Cheap pop. And everything could end as soon as the Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa comes out. Says the title is for his beautiful fiance. Wait, he's actually engaged? What schmuck wants to date that guy? I mean, seriously. But, you know, congrats to Darby. Some crazy chick gonna be his wife. I don't know how long that's gonna last. You know how Darby's a madman. I think you better have a prenup there, Missy. You know, he's reckless abandonment. I mean, he's gonna either die in a ring, die on a skateboard, or God forbid he goes up Mount Everest again, or does some other weird shit. He's gonna die, and you're gonna be left all alone. So, is it worth it? I guess. I mean, it's up to you, man. I'm not saying anything bad, but if I was Darby, I would tone it down for the sake of his soon-to-be wife, and God forbid they have kids. Imagine they have kids and the kid comes out and just like, he doesn't come out, he just like dives out of the woman's fucking pussy and something like that. He does a fucking suicide dive on the doctor. Holy shit. Tope suicida! Epic scalper there. Tope suicida! Baby's placenta coming out all over the place. Blood going everywhere. That's my son. Oh, daughter, doing a flippy dippity doo out the womb. I know, that's too graphic, Peter, I know, I'm sorry. But I don't care. Anyway, so he said the title's for my beautiful wife and the fans, and then MJF comes out. Joey's like, I don't want a rematch, no rematch, until you put something on the line. Okay. So get your ass out of my fucking ring. Whoa, Darby, Max was not in the ring. He was on the ramp. I think you've been hit in the head, in the cabeza a little too much, the essay, you know? That man is crazy, essay. I know, Eddie. He's a dumbass, too. Oh, he's like, play! Oh, well, wait a minute. We know Ray is, you know, I know you don't like him, but, you know, he's not that dumb. He's dumb to think he's my son Dominic's father, Poppy. I'm his Poppy. We know. Ray thinks he's, you know, Ray thinks he has that custody thing in his hand. That don't mean shit. I know, because I banged Angie, not him. Oh, never mind, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Well, she had the Latino heat, I say. I know she did. I have the pinga. Oh, whoa, calm down. I'm sorry. He said the P word. No, not pork. Don't listen to her. Anyway. So, yeah. Alright, so Ciampa comes out with his epic theme. So we get to the main event for the world title. And good grief, this match was crazy. Will's bell gets blocked. Ciampa whips Darby into the barricade. Ow. Then he misses a running boot. Darby goes up, dives with a clothesline into the timekeeper's area. And then Ciampa comes up. He is busted. I mean, he is really busted open. I'm like, how did that happen? Holy shit. He was like, he was like, I don't even know if it was hard way blood or he really did a really bad blade job. Remember when you did that, Eddie, against JBL? It happens. Man, you almost fucking died because of all that blood loss. Holy shit, dude. But at least they won the title. Okay. But you retained. Anyway. Darby hits a suicide dive for added bonus. They go back in the ring. Darby tries for the coffin drop, gets broken up. Blood splatters all over the camera. I can barely see anything. You know, camera is like, shh. Let's clean it up. Darby's back up with a scorpion death drop, but Ciampa rolls away before the coffin drop can connect. And then Ciampa catches Darby on the top, hits a super air raid crash, not to the ring, to the floor. Nothing broke the fall. Jeez. I mean, somebody get John Zandig in here. I mean, John, get in here. Jesus! You know? Holy crap. I was like, damn, they're dead. Nothing broke their fall. It was just splat. We go to another break, come back, Ciampa chops away, and then Darby catapults him into the corner, then bounces back out with a double stomp. Running knee hits Darby, pops right back up for a knockdown. Coffin drop lands in a rear naked, I guess a rear naked choke. No, not a triangle choke or anything like that, Hell's Gate. Then a running knee for a near fall, and then another one for another near fall. Ciampa tries to get the Scorpion Deathlock. That ain't gonna work, because Darby reversed that into one of his own, and there was a little bit of a struggle. I don't know if he couldn't put it on, but, I mean, freaking Ciampa blood going everywhere was just insane. And then, finally, Ciampa taps out in 18 minutes. Good match, brutal, bloody. Ugh. That freaking spot to the floor was crazy. But Darby gets the win. You didn't think he was gonna lose it that quick? Nah, I didn't think so. So after the match, I didn't think they were gonna get this. A code of honor, you love to see that. And then Ciampa leaves the ring, bloody, all messed up. And then Brody King comes out and issues a challenge for tonight, basically. And Darby's like, I'm in. So, two friends, former enemies, they're doing it one more time for that AEW World title. I think Darby's going to retain. He probably will lose it to Max at Double or Nothing. Somehow Max is going to, say, I'll put my career on the line. I'll put some weird shit on the line. I'll put my wife on the line. Yeah, Darby gets Alicia Ratute in the end. That'd be fun. You're married. You're about to be married. Now you're going to get Alicia Ratute as well? Could be better than that. Hey, I got a 2-for-1 special. Alright, so we get that. Alright, so that ends pretty good Dynamite, and I gave that 7.5 out of 10 stars. But now, my friends, we go to Collision, and I'm just going to paraphrase, we're about 15 minutes away from that. Once again, from the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon, same announce team, Excalibur, Tony Baloney, and Nigel McGuinness. Right, back on Saturday nights, because we had a couple of those Thursday night shows. Did okay in the ratings, not great, but, you know. And, by the way, Dynamite went down last week. I forgot what, down like around 600,000. 610, I think it was. But anyway, alright, so we started with the conglomeration, the 6-man tag team champions. They're ready to go, but FTR and Stoke they interrupt because they have something to say to Edge and Christian. And like I mentioned, we're going to do a New York street fight, but they want it to be an I Quit street fight match. And Dax is like, 5 letters, 2 words, yeet. No, he didn't say that. We said 5 letters, 2 words. I quit. Okay. So the nostalgia run can end for good, and the ball's in Edge and Christian's court. We're going to probably hear from them tonight. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, then the conglomeration defend the trios titles against the Don Callis family of Lance Archer. Everybody dies! Hichesado and Andrade. I don't think Andrade did that, I don't think he did the, you know, when he goes outside the ring and goes to a mamacita to take a selfie. So, we got that. We're getting to the end of the match. I'm not going to go through all of it. 13.5-minute match almost. Getting to the end, Andrade, fights back, hits not one, well, it goes for that Eddie Guerrero, 3 amigos, but only got 2 of them. Because he's not like me, Ese. Okay, I get it. So it hits 2 out of 3 on Kyle. Kyle! Alrighty! Auto Parts, along with, Rowdy! And that gimmick stealer bitch, Orange Cassidy. Speaking of that, Lance Archer comes in, clean house. Spinning up his boss man slam, black hole slam. Gets the near fall on Orange Cassidy. Goes to the choke slam. And gets countered with an orange punch. And a high-low by Kyle and Roddy. Or total elimination. On I think it was, I don't know who it was on, but anyway, the conglomeration get the win, retain the 6-man tag team titles. Big freaking deal. Decent match. That's it. Alright, then, like I mentioned before, the Death Riders take Ospreay to a warehouse. Rena Shafiro fixes his neck a little bit, gives him a little massagey. And Mox asks what Ocean Spray is trying to do. They met 7 years ago at some point. Well, 7 years ago was 2019. So I think that was when Mox joined. I think it was when Moxley first joined AEW. Might have been a little bit after that. But anyway. And Ocean Spray, I think, was in Ring of Honor, New Japan. But anyway. At some point, Ocean Spray needs to realize that his body is going to break down. Pretty much has broken down. There's a door he can walk through. They can settle up. And then Moxley slides him a chair and tells Ospreay, you can be anything you want to be, or be like everybody else. And then he lays face down on the floor. Ocean Spray is about to concerto him, and then he shoved the cameraman away. Like, did he actually hit him? Obviously not, because we go to the Death Riders and the War Dogs teaming up. So we have Moxley on commentary, William Yuta, and I think it was Danny Garcia teaming up with Clark Connors and David Finlay, because Gabe Kidd's still injured with that shoulder injury. That's why Andrade is getting a shot at I think it was the IWGP World Title this Sunday. And boy, did Andrade lay into Tsuji in an interview. Called him like like a watered down version of Okada or something like that. I forgot what he said, but And even Tsuji came out in an interview saying that he doesn't really like the AEW New Japan union, or lack of a union. Yeah, because there's nobody. I mean, they don't even have people from New Japan. I know we're getting close to next month. We're gonna get close to Forbidden Door, and where we see people from New Japan, Stardom, and CMLL come in to face people from Ring of Honor as well. I mean, who's gonna come from freaking New Japan? You think Tsuji's gonna come because he's the IWGP champ? After what he said, I don't know. They're not gonna get Tanahashi to come out of retirement. Doubt that. Maybe they bring Goto, they bring, I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna bring for, from New Japan. Stardom, I can see, like, Miyu Yamashita, what's her name, Saya, a lot of people, They're gonna bring the ladies of Stardom, the face, maybe Athena, maybe Mina faces somebody or teams up with somebody from Stardom. That'd be great. Maybe get the New Japan Women's Champion to come in. We already know Alex Windsor's the New Japan strong women's champion. That's just different than the women's champion, I think. So it's gonna be interesting. And then I see Persephone, who could be going to WWE soon. They've been going back and forth with that. So Persephone could be there representing CMLL, a few other luchadors, and then Ring of Honor probably have Bendito, people like that. Let me move on. Anyway, so they take on the Young Bucks, Nick and Mac Jackson, and the Rascals of Desmond Xavier, and, I think it was Myron Reed. So it's Claudio and William Yuta. And back and forth they went. We're getting to the end. The faces hit a lot of flippy dippity doos. Shots from the top, only for Claudio to cut off Desmond Xavier's dive. Then the swing from the tabletop. Sends Desmond Xavier into William Yuta's dropkick, so he hit the UFO, circa Kings of Wrestling 2010. Claudio and a certain guy named Chris fucking Hero, he's your hero. Bucks come right back for the save. Myron Reed does his big running giddy kessa, bang! Draws Claudio on the pile at ringside, which leaves Zachary Wentz to hit a top rope gilly cutter. Stop stealing my fucking move! Stop! I'm gonna start charging people for that. No, I'm not. Anyway, suplex is loaded up, gets reversed. Zach being lifted up, so Clark Connor's top rope spear. That connects. And 1, 2, 3, the Dogs and the Death Riders get the win. Pretty good match. 3.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, in the back, Mina Shirakawa and Hale Cameron want Hikuda to apologize for what, I don't know. But she stands by what she said. I never hit Tony Storm. We still don't know who hit Tony. I still think it might have been Mina, but who knows. So she is like, I stand by what I said. Harley Cameron will never be on me and Chris Statlander's level. And then they start arguing. I guess we're going to get a tag team match. Somebody get Teddy Long player. I don't know. Speaking of Chris Cakelander, she's in a filler match, an under 2-minute match with Becca, spelled differently with a B3 CCA. Becca jumped to the start. That was a bad idea. And she tries for Saturday Night Fever. Becca grabs Carmella's coat of silence. And actually, if you looked at this match, Becca kind of looked like Carmella. And Carmella's like, wait a minute here. Because I think she went on X and put up the video of Becca doing the code of silence. Says, hey, that's not how you do it. Does that mean Carmella is going to finally come out of her house and get back to, WWE? After popping out 2 kids 2 kids for Corey Slave? Maybe. We'll see. Alright, that gets reversed into Saturday Night Fever. 1, 2, 3. Statlander got the win. At least Becca got some offense in. That's still boring match. And then afterwards, she walks out of the ring with Hikaru Shida. Alright, then the women's tag team champions Megan Bayne and Lita Cross are ready for them. Statlander and Shida. I think that's gonna happen tonight, or I don't know when. Look at that. And then Roosh takes on the ever popular Adam Priest. No relation to Judas Priest, thankfully. Decent match for 8 minutes. We go to break, come back near the end of the match. Adam Priest hits an Alabama Gemma, circa Bobby Eaton. You, sir, beautiful Bobby Eaton and sweet Stan Lane. Love that. The real Midnight Express, not the old version with the late great Dennis Condrey. Another guy that, God rest his mighty soul. But anyway, that gets a near fall. Whoosh sends him to the outside. Some stomping against the barricade. Ow. Has Adam Priest in trouble. He throws him back in the ring. Hits the bull's horns. You mess with the bull. Esse, you get the horns. Hits that. 1, 2, 3. Bing, bang, good night. Decent match. Alright, then we hear from Takeshita is all ready to face Okada. And Okada is ready to face Takeshita. We're all ready to go. Okay. We get that. Alright, then women's tag team action. Persephone, the CMLL Women's Champion, takes on the New Japan... she teams up with the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, Alex Windsor! As they take on Sky Blue and Thekla. I thought it was Julia Hart, but it's Thekla, the AEW Women's Champion. And 10.5 minutes. We're getting to the end. Sky Blue goes for Code Blue, gets broken up. Persephone goes for a charge in the corner and missed. Ow. And then Windsor and Thekla brawl to the floor. Persephone goes to the lasers. Hey, Chico, something happened to this. Something happens to this. Something happened to you, Chico. And then Julia Hart comes in, spits the black goo in Persephone's face, blinds her, and then Sky Blue hits Code Blue 1, 2, 3, and that's pretty much it. 10.5 minutes. The Triangle Madness get the win. That's it. Alright, then we're going to look at MJF and Kevin Knight. It's going to happen pretty soon on Dynamite to open the show. That's that. Then, for the national title, Jungle Jack Perry defends against Dark Hologram, or El Clone. Hey, Jack Perry shaved his manly beard. That's not going to be nice for... I saw him and Anna Jay, they're back together. Or they're just friends. So I think Anna Jay was doing a video for Twitch. Or Jack Perry has Twitch. I don't know, but I saw them playing a game or they were singing and doing weird stuff. And then Anna Jay got one of Luchasaurus' masks put on her. It's like, fucking shit. And Anna Jay pretty much is gone from AEW. She's probably going to be debuting in NXT pretty soon. But anyway, Jack Perry defends the belt against Dark Hologram. And he retains the title in under 10 minutes. After a spinning Canadian Destroyer gave him a near fall, El Clone knees him in the face for another near fall. Then a step-up Lion Salt gets blocked, and then Jack Perry's running Busaiku knee, 1, 2, 3 to retain the title. That's that. And then we hear from TBS Women's Champion Willow Nightingale. Boom, bam! She wants new competition. See what happens with that. And then, like I mentioned before, Anthony Bowens asked the op if he could be on the team or not. So Hook and Joe make an executive decision. And then they really leave him there, but I thought he joined. Okay. Maybe he didn't join. They were thinking about it. Alright, then we get to the main event. Chris Jericho, Shelty Baby, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley team up against the Demand, Ricochet, the Gates of Agony, Bishop Quan! I know not Quan! And Toa Leona, MVP at ringside. Or actually on commentary. Good match for 11.5 minutes, but getting to the end, Bishop Quan drops Jericho with the right hand, and then all 6 men are in the ring. A code breaker gets a near fall on Ricochet, a spear to Bishop Quan, and then Jericho gets the walls of Jericho on Ricochet. Toa Leona pulls them over to the rope, pulls both of them to the rope. I don't know where the referee was. And then Ricochet with a nut shot on Jericho. Hits the Rico Salt. 1, 2, 3. Another pin on Jericho to end the show. That's it. That's all I gotta say about that. So, decent episode of Collision. I give it 6.5 out of 10 stars, and that's that. So, 7.5 for Dynamite, 6.5 for Collision. Pretty good shows. We'll see what happens tonight, as we're about to start live from wherever we're going to be tonight for Dynamite. So it should be a good show. We're going to start with MJF and Kevin Knight for the TNT title. Should be a good match. And that's it. Alright guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching. I'll be back after Dynamite with your Monday Night Raw review. We'll talk about Dynamite tomorrow. And anything else comes your way tomorrow, we'll talk about that too. So, until next time, my friends. Peace.